China's rapid economic development in recent years has created an ever-growing class of entrepreneurs and business people who have made their fortune and are now looking for new and flashy ways to spend it. Because of this, equestrian sports and especially horse racing, which are often associated with the moneyed classes, are becoming an increasingly attractive pastime and investment opportunity in the Middle Kingdom. Why did you decide to invest in horse racing?
China has a long history linked with the horse. It's part of our culture and represents strength and beauty. Also, horse racing has huge potential, and the industry is just starting here, so there are many possibilities.
Horse racing has been a popular sport in Hong Kong since it was introduced from Britain in 1841, and following this, the sport became increasingly popular in other parts of the Chinese mainland. Behind me you can see People's Square, which is an iconic location in modern Shanghai. However, as little as 60 years ago, this whole area was home to one of Asia's largest racecourses. Opened in 1862, the Shanghai Race Course enjoyed almost 100 years of operation before it was transformed into People's Square, People's Avenue and People's Park in 1951. However, the clock tower and clubhouse of the old Shanghai Racing Club still exist, but are now part of the Shanghai Art Museum. The transformation was prompted by concerns that the Shanghai Race Club was being used for colonial political events and displays of military power, and that its function as a centre for gambling epitomized the evils of imperialism. China's communist leader Mao Zedong banned horse racing in 1949, calling it an immoral capitalist pursuit.
Throughout the world, horse racing is strongly associated with gambling, which gives it a negative image. However, in China there are different levels of gambling, some of which are illegal like casinos, and others that are more accepted, such as the state-run lottery. And this is how we hope horse racing will eventually be developed.
Horse racing has been legal in China since 2008. However, as gambling is illegal, betting on racing is still banned, although the practice is widespread. But despite this, horse racing is still growing in popularity and many people are investing huge sums into equestrian property and racetracks in the hope that one day the ban might be lifted. Developers and horse race enthusiasts are hoping for the implementation of a horse race lottery, which would in effect be another form of gambling, but with a less morally contentious name. Wuhan, the capital of Hubei province and the centre of Chinese horse racing in the 19th century, is acting as a trial run for the lottery, with spectators permitted to guess which horse will win races with generous envelopes of taxi money, acting as their prizes if they guess correctly. What's the attraction of horse racing for wealthy Chinese?
Well, essentially, my understanding is a lot of the wealthier Chinese people are attracted to horse racing because a racehorse is a piece of art, and historically the Chinese really have a great understanding of culture. And to own a horse, it was which is, as I said, a piece of art. It was is attractive. But then to own and to sort of breed a winning racehorse is the highest form. It's almost your own created piece of art.
The China National Horse Industry Association expects horse imports to double this year compared to 2009. Already, wealthy Chinese have bought almost 100 racehorses this year from Japan alone, from where many of the country's horses are imported. A standard thoroughbred from Japan costs around $100,000 US. However, prices can be far more for the best pedigree.
As the racing industry in China is so young, we had to buy all our racehorses from abroad, as we don't have our own bloodlines of thoroughbreds. However, here we have horses from the UK, Australia and Japan, and we hope eventually we'll be able to breed our own horses.
Although the Chinese horse racing industry is still in its infancy stages, there are signs that it could become a flourishing industry. Already, certain Chinese universities offer courses for horse race management, and also many property developers have begun to respond to the trend by building residential complexes centred around horses rather than golf, which is a usual practice.
I believe what will happen is history will repeat itself, and that Shanghai and China once again will become one at the forefront of horse racing. That's what happened 100 years ago, and if history does repeat itself, then that will happen once again. But it'll take time.
For those in the equestrian and horse racing industry, it's hoped that over the next 4 years, horse racing in China will develop substantially, and that 2014 will be the year of the horse in more ways than just astrologically. Jenny Hammond, Press TV, Shanghai.